What's up, everybody? It's your boy Carl, aka Mark. Carl might be retired. Well, there's one more instance that I will probably use Carl. I don't know if I should provide the spoiler, but I don't know. But anyways, I'm leaving Tori's event. Tori is Tori is another person who has kind of made me a fan in person. Cause I was never the biggest Tori fan. When I saw her on the challenge, I was like, matter of fact, there was a point in time I didn't like Tori because I remember when she first came onto the challenge and she was with Derek. Not the Derek that we know, but the Derek from her show, I believe. What show did she come from? Are You the One? Yes, there was a Derek, a black Derek that she was with on Are You the One? And she and him both came onto the challenge together, if I'm not mistaken. And then I remember he got out very early in that season, and by the end of the season, she was allegedly with Jordan. The claim was that she didn't get with Jordan until after the season. She got close with him during, but then got with him like after in the post rap. And she said she spent a lot of time away from Derek and she spent a lot of time with Jordan and realized they were compatible. Then as Tori was like going through all her different relationships on the show, a thing that I didn't like about her early on, and this could just be the on-camera perception, to be honest. I'm not even saying this was a factual thing, but it just seemed like she didn't take ownership of the things that she was doing. It just seemed like she was just like, why am I being characterized this way? And I'm not really like that. And I guess just based on how things looked to me on camera, I was like, why did she take no accountability for any of her actions? But now meeting her, and actually last year when I met her for the first time, I met her in this intimate setting, which was her book launch of this poetry book that her and her co-author wrote. And she was going through poems, and she was talking about like very personal things that have happened to her over the years, and then how the challenge has kind of become a part of her experience. Hi, Eddie. She was talking about how the challenge has become a part of her experience and how she lived out some of her worst moments and some of her worst traumas on the show. And then it hit me like, this person is actually human. And then when you meet her, when you speak to her, she is so similar. She's the same. She's just the same as like what you see on the TV. It's so interesting because some of them you see them and you're like, you're nothing like the person that I see on TV in those confessionals, and others you're like, you are this exact person. You are this exact person in person and on the show. So I got to the event a little bit late. Well, a lot of it. The event was 6 to 9. I mentioned this before. I had a really tough day at work. I mean, most of my days are tough at work, but this one started off on the wrong foot and just continued from there. So when work was done, I was done. So I was just like, I need a nap. I took a nap. I got up. Excuse me. I'm still tired. I got up. I got myself together. I took the drive. I got there about 7 o'clock or so. About 7 o'clock. And these events are way different than Challenge Mania events, because Challenge Mania is like, you get there and stand in a line to talk to the person. I mean, you do get in line at one of these also, but it's not the same size of line because it's a smaller venue. There's less people in there. There's less competition to talk to people. It's more of like a free-flowing room. It's more of a place for conversations and engagement. So I wore the Carl outfit, and I told y'all how at Kara's thing, it took a while for people to recognize that I was Carl. It took even longer at this one. Tori actually did not even know that I was Carl until I explained to her. I think she just looked at it, and it's New York City. So she was probably just like, guy in a wig. That ain't anything I haven't seen before. But when I explained to her, when I was like, I saw Kara a couple of weeks ago, and I came there as Carl, and I told her that I was gonna come here as Carl. She was like, oh, Carl, now I get it. Like, she had no idea. Hi, Cass. So she was there, Nisa was there. I was a little upset at myself because I was standing near the bar and somebody was next to me that looked like Raven. But I was like, this person looks an awful lot like Raven. And I find out later that it was Raven, but by the time I realized that, she had already left, but that's okay. I mean, my main function of coming there was to see Tori and to show her that outfit. And then she actually, the cool part is, Kara told me to give her the link. She was like, take a video and shoot me the link. And actually, when I told Tori that, she actually pulled out her phone and she took a video of it on her phone and sent it to Kara. So she's gonna see it. That was pretty cool. I don't know if she's gonna post it, but I do have a video that I got taken from the side of that. She was like, Kara, I'm here at my event and look at this imposter. She was like, look at this imposter. I was like, what do you mean imposter? She told me, she was like, I would have really tripped out if you came as Dave. I told her it would have been a lot more work for me to come as Dave, because then I would need a ginger wig, and then I would need like a ginger beard, and I'm not that committed. I'm really not that committed. Like this, the usage that I got out of this wig is amazing, because the only reason I got the wig was because Azza, when she had her Big Brother premiere party earlier this year, one of the 2 nights of the premiere nights, she had a 70s theme. So I went to Party City and I got the wig, and I had like one of those peace symbol necklaces, and I don't remember. I think I wore one of my dad's African shirts. And I was actually planning to take the whole getup back to Party City. But then I was like, you know what? I'll probably be at somewhere again where I'll need it again, or I'll use it again. And when I went to the Challenge Mania event a few weeks ago, the idea just came to me. a day, a couple 2 days before, maybe 2 days before. I'm like, you know what would be funny? Maybe I could pull off Carl. And the wig was still in my trunk, so I took it out and I said, all I need is a headband and some aviator glasses. And it was a hit. Today it was less of a hit, but it hit with the person who mattered. That's the only thing that mattered. It didn't hit with all the fandom, but there was a few people who were like, are you Carl? Hi, Charicity, and hi, Ed. So, it was a fun night. I mean, I don't know what to call this, but it was a bazaar. Is that what they're called? Bazaar? Yeah. Where they had a bunch of tables and they had people selling little things at the table, soaps, candles, t-shirts. So it was really truly the definition of a meet and greet, because it's not like a thing that had a show or anything. You just come in there and meet them and then you leave. And the reason why I didn't turn on my video is because they had a DJ in there, and the DJ was playing a lot of popular hits that I knew that as soon as I turned my camera on, the video is going to be copyright striked. So I was like, I guess this time around I'm just going to have my couple of videos that I took, and then from there I'm just going to talk about it a little bit. Oh, so I guess the spoiler, if you want to call it a spoiler, is that when I interviewed Cara, I'm thinking of, at the beginning of the interview, coming in Dave persona, and then, not Dave, why did I say Dave? Because I was thinking of what Tori told me. Actually, funny thing, sometimes when I talk to these people, I'm like, oh, do you remember me? I met you from wherever, this event or that event. So as soon as I saw Tori, even though I had the Dave get up, I said Dave again, because she told me Dave. Her thing is Dave. I had the Carl get up, and I was like, do you remember me? She's like, of course I remember you, Mark. And I was like, oh, that threw me off, because that doesn't usually happen, to be honest with you. I usually have to give them a whole explanation of where they met me, because I only spoke to her for a brief period of time last year when I met her, like a couple minutes. But she was like, yeah, I definitely remember you. Which actually kind of makes me think it's a combination of her remembering me, but the fact that she remembered my name, I think that these people, you know, they communicate with other people from the show. So the fact that I've met so many of them, they're probably like, oh, this and this happened at this event. And they kind of remember me that way, I think. If I had to take a guess. Because when I interviewed Alyssa, she said she heard about me from Hannah. And I thought that was interesting, because at that point in time, I met Hannah, but there wasn't anything specific about my interaction with Hannah. I was just having a conversation with her. Sebastian, how's it going? No, being famous is only cool if you're making money from it. But honestly, that's part of my goal. Like, my goal of coming here was not even necessarily to meet Tori, because I'm like, once I've met them one time, I'm not sitting here like I want to pay another crazy amount of money to meet them again. Even though her tickets were only $30, I have to say that. So you more than get your money's worth. $30, and she's incredibly nice in person, and nobody is standing there with a 90-second timer telling you that you have 90 seconds to talk to them. It's money well spent for $30. But still, I probably wouldn't have come if it wasn't for the fact that I'm trying to really do things with my page. And I feel like this series of events that have happened over the last month is me building to something. Now, the interesting part is what I'm building to, who knows? Because I don't know if I'm going to sit here and say, oh, I want to become the best challenge page ever. I tend to feel like just doing challenge content would be limiting, but it would be cool to become somebody who the challengers recognize enough that when they come off of a season of a show, they're like, I want to get on Mark's podcast. Like, he's the guy to go to. Just like how they're always on Big Brother, and they're like, oh, I want to get on, Rob has a podcast. $500 jewels. By the way, I don't know who gave me those jewels. Thank you to whoever gave me those. But by the way, there's a thing about these jewels where it said, if you get people to give you jewels on 3 lives, you qualify for up to $1,000. I haven't looked into how that works, but thank you for giving me the jewels, because I know Ed gave me jewels on a live, I think yesterday, and now I have jewels. Well, I don't know if that was yesterday. Wait, we're still into today. That might not have counted. No, I don't think it said 3 days. I think it said 3 lives. So now I'm 2 out of 3 days of getting the jewels. So I think 1 more live where I get jewels, and I can qualify for whatever bonus money that it is, I guess. I have to look deeper into it. I was trying. Well, oh, was that you who gave me those jewels, Chiricity? Thank you. The family jewels. But it was a fun event. I think I honestly, let me think. I mean, the number 1 most fun event that I ever went to was Sam's events from the circle. But after that, I would say, what was after that? The Big Brother events are pretty fun. I think the Big Brother lip sync battle last year was one of the most fun things that I've ever been to. They had whole choreographed routines. I was trying to say 2 words at the same time. They had costumes on. They did like NSYNC, Britney Spears, Log off. I thought about that. Will y'all join me back if I log off and log back on? I'm gonna do it. Blame Charicity. Join my next live because I'm gonna jump off.